What's up, guys? It's Jonathan with One Big Impact. So this video today is actually my best travel tips, okay? I've almost been to about 30 countries. I think it's like 25, 28, something like that. I don't know. Anyway, these are things that are like beyond the obvious things. These are things that I did not know. I look really bad in this shirt. I look like a little behemoth. But these are things that I did not know before I started traveling. First of all, if you are going to a popular place, whether it's like a popular attraction like the Colosseum, or if it's like a popular thing like the cliff in Norway or something like that, you need to know that you should probably go in off season if you're not trying to be flooded with people. The chances of getting a good quality picture at these places is lessened by the massive amounts of crowd. So if you're wanting to go to the Colosseum, everybody else is wanting to go to the Colosseum. I'm not saying don't go. Was Rome my thing? No, I did not like Rome. Actually, there were some parts of Rome that were really cool. First of all, everything's massive. Absolutely massive. The structures are probably bigger than you would ever imagine. But go in off season because you're going to get more to yourself. Now, I don't care what the weather conditions are when I go places. I've gone places in the absolute wrong times of the year. A couple things are going to happen when that happens. First of all, prices are going to be like next to nothing compared to compared to the busy season, because the people aren't getting droves of people. If you're negotiating prices, people are more welcome to negotiate because they're not making a lot of money right now. Now, I'm not saying screw people over because of that. I'm just saying things will be cheaper, the crowds will be less. Maybe the weather is not favorable conditions, but you can put a raincoat on, you could put a jacket on, you could take your jacket off. You know, trust me, the difference between busy season and not busy season is going to be massive, and you need to think about this. Take it into consideration. If it's too unbearably hot or something like that, maybe it's not a good idea. But please take this into consideration. Next thing is, stay longer to see more than the touristy stuff. Okay, I get it. You want to see touristy stuff. You want to see the Colosseum. You want to see the Arc de Triomphe. You want to see, the Eiffel Tower. You want to see these things, Leaning Tower of Pisa, blah, blah, blah. And that's fine. That's great. But I promise you, say you're going to Paris, for instance. Say you're going to Paris and you're going to stay there for 3 days. And you have to see the Arc. You have to see the Louvre. You have to see the Eiffel Tower. So first of all, the Eiffel Tower, pretty much a day event. The Louvre, you could stay there for a month and never see everything. Trust me, it is crazy. I actually never went in due to the massive amounts of people around the Louvre. I'm just not about that. Plus, it wasn't that important to me to see the Mona Lisa. Maybe for some of you it is. I have heard, a little insider tip, that the Mona Lisa is only like this big. Okay? And it's like way out of reach and it just looks like a little tiny thing. Go for longer because, first of all, you're going to need time to go from place to place to place. Don't cram in too many things at once. That was one of my things, don't overplan. Do not overplan your trip. I promise you, if you're going from boom, 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 you're going to miss everything. You need like a day or two. If I was going to go to Paris and I had a once in a lifetime thing and this was going to be my trip of a lifetime and I was not going to go back or go to travel anymore, 3 days would probably be sufficient if the Louvre was not involved. That means 3 days there. That does not mean travel time, day there, travel time back. No, that means 3 solid days, meaning you fly in, you sleep, you wake up. That first day you wake up in Paris is going to be day one. Then you have a full day two. Then you have a full day three. And then on day four or day five, you would fly back. That would be sufficient if you weren't trying to hit the Louvre, maybe. Or maybe you just want to go in there and see one thing. That would be acceptable. But if you want to see more of things and experience the culture, give yourself a day or two on top of your 3 days, so maybe 5 days, that you have open to do whatever the hell you want. Maybe 2 days to relax, maybe 2 days to wander around and see the things that you probably had no clue were there. So near the Louvre and between the Eiffel Tower is an amazing park with beautiful sculptures. And it's like, oh my gosh, it's so freaking long. Like it's got to be like 10-mile walk. Everybody goes through there, they relax, they're chilling, there's cafes, there's coffee places, and it's through a really gorgeous like Central Park type thing. Really nice. But you wouldn't know that if you weren't having a little more time to spend there. Don't pack in too much because you're going to get stressed out. You are going on vacation to de-stress. Don't, like I did the other day, don't go on a vacation and come back needing a vacation from your vacation because it stressed you out too much, especially if you have kids. Would I take kids to Paris? Probably not. That's up to you though. And the reason I wouldn't is not because I don't want to travel with my kids. I'm saying kids at a certain age, if you're like with 2 and 3 year olds, it's cool to travel with them or whatever. I understand that. But they're not going to remember it. They're not going to appreciate it. Have your family babysit or something for a few days. Go enjoy yourself. But that's completely up to you. I'm not telling you how to be a parent. Next thing is be open-minded. You're going to see stuff that you probably never expected. Is it Paris? Paris is probably one of the places where I've seen. Paris and London are probably the most culturally diverse places that I've ever seen on the planet. You're going to see people straight off the boat from Africa. You're going to see people with no legs dragging themselves across the ground begging for money, and it's going to tear at your heart. Okay? There's a lot of immigrants. There's a lot of sadness. There's a lot of things that you don't anticipate. Okay? Understand they call them gypsies. A lot of them are gypsies. There are people that are going to be on the side of the road, covered in filth, breastfeeding, begging for change. Okay, some of it's hard to deal with. Okay, some of it's hard, it's sad, but in the same sense, be open-minded. You're going to see things that you probably normally would not. Okay, and that's what's cool about travel. That's the coolest thing because you see things that you normally wouldn't. I love the cultural experience probably more than I do love anything. I'm not big on the tourist attractions. Usually I'll stop by, look at it, and then just move on and go do something or whatever. But I usually don't pay to go in. I'm a pretty budget traveler, so it's not really my thing. The next thing is get ready for lines and crowds, okay? I'm not saying that, first of all, let me say, I'm not trying to steer anybody away from travel. I'm just telling you that lines and crowds are a part of reality when you go to places. So, for instance, the London, right next to the London Bridge, what is the damn castle? Somebody's got to be watching this giving me crap. Let me look it up. I'm going to look it up. Castle in London. Castles in London. Oh my gosh, what is it called? There it is. Tower of London. Oh my gosh, that's horrible. I'm sorry. The Tower of London is one of the busiest places I've ever seen, and I was not impressed. I was more impressed by looking at Tower Bridge, which everybody thinks is London Bridge, but it's not. But it's beautiful. The London Bridge is actually in Arizona, believe it or not. They took it apart. The pillars are still there in London. They took it apart piece by piece and shipped it here. And I believe it's in Lake Havasu, and they built it again from all the parts. So the bridge that's currently there is the Tower Bridge. Okay, it's absolutely magnificent, beautiful, but it is not the London Bridge, and people commonly mistake them. By the way, if you go to London, go on the River Thames cruise. It's the main river that goes through there. I believe it's the River Thames. And you can get a cruise on the one of the biggest boats that you've probably ever been on for like 15-20 bucks, maybe even less. Sometimes they're like 5 or 10 bucks. And it is the most relaxing cruise. They got couches, they got plugs, restaurants, everything, and they take you through and stuff like that. That brings us to the next one. Go on tours or you won't see as much. Now, if you plan like 5 years for this trip to London and then you go, you probably see quite a bit, okay? But if you're like a fly by the edge of the seat person and you just go and you don't do a ton of, you don't really have like anything you want to see, you're like, yeah, I want to see Tower of London. Yeah, I want to see, where Harry Potter went to school. I want to see platform 9 3/4. I want to see these things or whatever, which is there. I've seen it like 10 times. And that's a big attraction, by the way. And it's literally in the train station. It's just some suitcases in front of the wall, which is quite hilarious. But if you are fly by the edge of the seat person, book tours. Okay, go online wherever you are located. And a really good way to do this, first of all, is when you come into the train stations, when you go to the train stations, they have little tourist office. Try to find the one that is ran by like the establishment rather than like all these branch off places. So a really good way to find these is go find, because if you're just arriving, it would be weird. You wouldn't be doing that. But pretend you're going to buy a train ticket. Wherever you would go buy a train ticket is usually like find people that work for the train station and say, hey, where do I buy a train ticket? And you go in there, and those are the people that work for the company. They're not trying to, profit unseen amounts or fill spots or anything like that. It's a very sophisticated operation, actually. But you go in there and you can book tours with them. You can ask questions. You can say, hey, I'm here for 2 days or 3 days or whatever. What is the best I can do? And then you can get like different cards. You can say, I want an all access pass. And it's like a couple $100 or something. And you get to go to like 50 different places or something like that. By the way, British Museum is a really pretty amazing. I'm not big on museums, but that's probably the most amazing museum I've ever seen. And I've been to a lot of them now in Europe, especially. They are proud of their museums. I'll tell you what. But going to those people and booking with them is going to be a massive difference. You can get discounts on bus cards, subway tickets and stuff like that. And they will give you, I did it in Switzerland, okay? This is popular in the United States, or in Europe and over there. I did it in Switzerland. I went straight to the place and I said, hey, I don't got a lot of money, because Switzerland was so expensive. It was like $50 for a burrito in Zurich where I was staying. It was just like I ate apples for like 4 days. Scratch that. I did not eat apples. I remember exactly what I ate because I was on video when I did it. I ate mustard, water. That's what I ate. I stayed completely low carb out of there. But in Zurich, I went to the place and I said, hey, what is there any possibility that I could do anything while I'm here? She's like, well, what's your budget? And I'm like, it was pretty low. And it was actually pretty high considering. I was like, well, maybe I could pull $50 out my butt, And she's like, well, for $40, you could take this train to this location. And I was kind of freaked out because I was like, I don't know where the hell I'm going. You take this train to this location, and this is all one package, right? $40. You take this train to this location, you walk across the street, then you pile on this train, this caboose thing that goes click, 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 up Riggy Mountain. Okay? Now, I'm telling you guys this because this is the best experience I've ever had in all of my travels. Okay? All of it. 40 bucks. That thing, click, 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 old wood caboose. It was beautiful. The windows came down. You saw the cows roaming around with big bells. It was just like something out of a freaking movie. Click, 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 all the way up. We got up to the top and we can see the Swiss Alps as far as you could see, the snow-capped mountains. But the mountain I was on, Riggy Mountain, was sunshiny, flowers were blooming, bees were buzzing. It was amazing. They had a restaurant at the top. Went up there. This all included the same thing. Had lunch, chilled, walked back over to the bus or to the trolley thing. And then it goes down the other side of the mountain. Click, 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 all the way down to the bottom. You board a $70 million yacht. And then that takes you across Lucerne Lake, which is the most beautiful lake I've ever seen in my life. Green, aqua colored water. It was just absolutely spectacular. You could see down the bottom. It was just freaking amazing. Okay. Yes, I snuck up to first class like 5 times getting pictures. Screwing around. I had to see it. I had to see it. I was asking the conductor all kinds of stuff and everything, or the captain or whatever you call him. Over Lucerne Lake, we go to the one of the oldest bridges in Europe, and we see all that. And then we get back on and this is all self-guided. Okay, you go by yourself. And then I get back on after staying in Lucerne for a couple hours, which is beautiful, beautiful. I get back on the train and then all the way back to Zurich. $40, $40 freaking dollars. It was spectacular. I sat on the side of a hill like I was in the Little House on the Prairie movie, having freaking lunch, overseeing the most beautiful thing. And there's videos. I made videos from there. And I made videos. I made probably like, I think at least, I know for sure one video. And that was at the top of Riggy Mountain. And I was trying to get my phone to hold on this thing. It was pretty funny. But I showed pictures, like a view, a scan of everything. And it was just absolutely picturesque. It was spectacular. Book a tour. Okay, I'm saying book a tour. And I'll put a Viator link in the description below because they have lots of amazing things. But make sure you book something. And I'm not saying go crazy. Read your reviews. If the reviews say it sucks, don't go. Okay, even if you want to do that thing, don't go. Be careful about the companies that you book with when you are traveling, especially in like places like Asia. And I'm not saying anything bad about Asia, just there might be some unscrupulous things happening. Book with quality companies and make sure you are getting good quality things. Like I had an experience in Ireland. What was the company called? St. Patty's or something like that. It sucked. It absolutely sucked. They were shuttling you into all these places to make money, make money, make money, make money. They were just stopping at like gift shops or restaurants to where people own, and you can see them getting their percentage. It was just like, it did not feel good. You know, it didn't feel good. But beyond that, you guys, travel is absolutely mind-blowing. You are not going to have the experience you expect, which is cool. The coolest thing about is travel is it's not really what you expect. It is going to be completely different. Open your mind, travel because you're not dead yet. Enjoy your life. Don't wait till later. Travel now while you still have the gusto and the energy and the passion for life. You guys have a beautiful day. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video helps you. Please book your next adventure soon.